Hi guys, welcome to Emmarie Lane. And today we're doing something a little bit different than normal. You guys loved the 4 different ways to do a messy bun without bobby pins video. I thought I'd do something similar. Today I'm going to be doing 5 different ways to do a low bun. It can be messy or not depending on what you like. They're all super easy. They're all super quick. They work on most hair textures and a lot of hair lengths. So let's get into the video. Okay, first I am always going to start off by taking some hair and framing my face with it. That's just what I love to do, especially when I'm wearing like a hairstyle where you might not be able to see the bun from the front. I'm just starting off with a low ponytail, and anytime I do a low ponytail, I kind of like to loosen up the hair right next to my head. It's just so things don't look super tight. And then I'm going to be using a hair scarf for this hairstyle. It's totally optional. You do not have to. And depending on the length of your scarf, you might have to double it up. Mine, I did not need to. It's the perfect length. And I'm just going to divide my hair in half and add the hair scarf to one of the sections and then just twist these sections around each other. You don't do like a rope braid where you twist the sections in the opposite direction or whatever. Just twist the sections around each other, and then once I get to the end, before I tie it off, I'm just going to hold the ends with one hand and then gently stretch out the sections with the other. Be careful not to pull too hard because you don't want the twist to completely come undone. And then after that, I'm going to tie it off with an elastic and then wrap the hair around itself into a bun shape. And then I'm going to start pinning it in place. I'm going to make sure I like the look of it and check like a double mirror. Once I start pinning, I always like to stretch things out a little bit and kind of adjust things. You also might have to tuck in the ends of the scarf if you use a scarf. But that's it. Okay, you're starting off with another low ponytail, but this time on the last like wraparound of the hair tie, you're going to do like a little bun. You don't want to make it bigger even if you have longer hair like myself. And then you're going to take that little loop bun thing we created and then attach it to like towards the side of your head, but like in between like like your ear and like the top of your head. You know what I mean. You see what I'm doing. And then you're going to take your ends, however many you have left, and you're going to add a hair tie to it so that way they all kind of stay together. Kind of twist them a little bit and then wrap them around the little loop we created and then tuck the ends in place. I recommend using a hair tie that is closer to the shade of your hair so you don't have to hide it like I did, or you could use a clear one if you wanted. And then you're just going to pin everything in place. Make sure to also loosen up the hair right next to your head so it doesn't look too tight. Oh, and then I noticed the hair that I missed, so I grabbed that real quick, twisted it around my fingers, and then pinned it underneath the bun. But that's it. Okay, for this next one, we're not going to add in a hair tie. You're just going to divide your hair in half and literally knot it like you're starting to tie your shoe. Tie it, get it tight. If the ends start getting too unmanageable, if they're like all over the place, you can kind of twist them first. I like to kind of wrap the 2 pieces around the bun once the bun starts being formed and then knot it. See, I put those ends like over top of the bun instead of like letting them lay on top of each other exactly. That way it doesn't get like too long. If the hair gets too unmanageable once you start knotting, you can pin it in place before you finish the knotting just so you don't have to hold it all and knot at the same time, because that can be kind of difficult. And then once you get to the point where you can't tie knots anymore and you just have little ends left, you can leave them out, or you can tuck them under the bun and pin them in place depending on how messy you want it to look. And then you can just pull on it, adjust it, look in a mirror, make sure you like how it looks. If there's any like funky pieces, you can like twist them and pin them in place. But that's it for this one. Okay, this next one's one of my personal favorites. You're going to start off with a little ponytail again, and then just like the one we did earlier, you're going to leave some of the loop on the last time you pull it through. This one I'm making a little bit bigger, but it's up to you. And then depending on how long your hair is, you can either divide your ends in half and then twist them around the elastic. I did it kind of messily, but you get the idea. You just twist them around the elastic and then pin them in place. But since my ends are long enough and I like the hair to look a little bit thicker around the hair tie, I just grab all of the hair and twist it on top of the hair tie and then pin it in place. It definitely comes down to preference, how big you want that twisted piece to look compared to your bun. You just kind of have to mess around with it until you like it. You can have it be super duper messy and super undone looking, or you can have it be really sleek and have like no flyaways or ends sticking out. I definitely like the more lived in look, but that's just me. And I like to pull on that little bun part too. And that's it. Okay, we're going to start off by dividing our hair in half again, except this time you're actually going to tie off both sections. And when you're tying off each section, make sure on the last time around with your hair tie that you only pull it through approximately halfway through to create those loops. And then when you're done with that, you're going to stick your hand through one of the loops and then grab the other one and pull it through. You might have to stretch out one of the loops a little bit just to get them to both fit. And then once you get all that figured out, you're kind of just gonna squish it onto your head and then pin it all around to make sure it's super secure. You might have to adjust it a little bit once you start pinning to see how it's laying. Just mess around with it, it'll only take a sec. And then, depending on how long your layers are, you might be able to just kind of roll them up a little bit and tuck them underneath the bun. But since mine are longer, I'm going to actually wrap them around the bun and then tuck whatever little baby ends are left underneath. And again, there might be some like crazy hairs that you might want to just pull out and pin just so they don't fall out halfway through the day, because that's no fun. And then just tug on a little bit more, tug around on your crown to make it more loose, and that is it. If you want to check out my 4 easy messy buns without bobby pins, you can click right here. I love you guys so much, and don't ever forget that you are enough. Bye!